Mac Jones, the former 15th overall pick in the 2021 draft by the New England Patriots, has been traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a 2024 6th-round pick. Mac Jones finishes 3 seasons with the Patriots with an 18-24 record, and now will back up the first overall pick in that 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence. I want to know, are you surprised the Patriots traded Mac Jones? And also, are you surprised they only got a 6th-round pick from a former 15th overall pick in Mac Jones?
I guess I'm a little surprised. I wasn't overly surprised, let's say. I mean, he played very poorly, and this past year he played for 11 games. He had a little over 2,000 yards passing, 10 TDs, 12 interceptions. Made some horrible mistakes, cost him a couple of games there, more than one. He's going back to Jacksonville, where he's from. He grew up in Jacksonville. Maybe that will help him a little bit. I don't know. He was told he was going to be drafted right after the combine, so he knew it was coming, and I think that it may have a lot to do with the players losing confidence in him, and a number of the players not being very positive about him, and actually being upset that he showed up to Gerard Mayo's acceptance speech, in Patriots gear. He'd been working out there at the stadium, and I don't know. I just think it's he soured the culture maybe a little bit in New England with the way he complained openly to the coaches in front of the fans. I think that really soured the Patriots on him, and I think that the fact that he went for a 6th-round pick might surprise me a little bit. Maybe he could have been a 5th, maybe even a 4th. I don't know. But I don't think he's going to get much playing time in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence there. But if Trevor Lawrence gets hurt, maybe he gets in a game or two. We'll see.
6 is a little bit shocking, but I guess when you talk about the production from this season, not so much. He did not play well by any account. Like I said previously, indefensible. You can't argue that. Oh yeah, but early in the season you could, because he was playing fine, and then once the major fracture in between Belichick and Mac Jones happened, and then at the very end of the season, he didn't even get told he was the 3rd quarterback until a little bit right before the Jets game. So that relationship was gone. He was probably going to be off of the Patriots. There was some hope, new regime, new chances, but generally how this works, if you didn't draft the quarterback, you're probably going to get off him. So we've seen that a couple of times, and once the coach goes, then it's up to the quarterback to get released or traded or whatever the case may be. We just saw it with Russell Wilson, and we see it consistently as several teams go throughout their new quarterbacks and or new coaches, except this time it was both the coach and the quarterback who got either fired or traded away. What I am surprised about is the fact that he went to the Jaguars. Jaguars already had a quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. So the fact that he's getting sent over there, it could be that the Doug Peterson outcoached Belichick in his Super Bowl, and he also won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles after Carson Wentz got hurt. It was pretty impressive. So maybe after a year or two, Mac could somehow get another job somewhere at a bad team. Maybe the Titans get off of Will Levis eventually and say, let's go with Mac Jones. But yeah, I would say the placement is a little bit, interesting to say the least. On the side of the Patriots, they're doing some very, very good things so far this offseason. Let's take a look at some of their moves so far. So we've talked several times on the show, what do the Patriots need? And we've talked about wide receiver, better offensive line. But during this offseason, I guarantee you Kendrick Bourne would have been gone. A lot of pieces that if Belichick was still in place there would be gone. And so I said these are some of the Patriots' needs, and they've hit on basically every single one of the key moves that I thought the Patriots definitely needed to do. The other two are just going to happen maybe. They have the 3rd overall pick. I do not see them trying to trade that 3rd overall pick to another team because they still need a quarterback. They signed Jacoby Brissett to a 1-year, $8 million deal. That is more so just veteran mentorship. That's why Brian Hoyer got picked up by the Patriots when Mac Jones was a rookie. So, as a sophomore, I'm pretty sure. But that he's not going to be the starting quarterback. Bailey Zappe, he's going to be gone. I had a serious problem with Bailey Zappe liking the Instagram post or the tweet of Mac Jones getting traded and also him going on an Instagram Live and basically saying, yo, let's run this back. He's probably going to be gone. And I don't know why he's making fun of Mac, because he got released before week 1 happened, and no team wanted him when he was available, so the Patriots re-signed him to a practice squad. But I digress. So the only two that are a work in progress or may happen is sign or trade for a difference maker or wide receiver. That's something that the Patriots have needed for a long time. D-Hop was out there, OBJ was out there. They haven't yet done it. And then draft a quarterback. The draft's in April. They're probably going to draft a quarterback. The question is, what quarterback? I prefer Jaden Daniels, but I also heard somewhere that they're looking at the Commanders now really like Jaden Daniels, so the Patriots might end up with Drake May, which I don't love. I do think he will fall in the draft, at least fall farther than I think the Patriots should let him go. But re-sign Hunter Henry. That was a big one. Their best tight end. They had no tight ends on the roster, basically. Re-sign Kendrick Bourne. He was a very, very efficient, underrated piece when he was on the Patriots. Sign Mike Onwenu, because he was probably their best offensive lineman, so you want to sign him. They signed him to a pretty decent deal. They re-signed Kyle Duggar. He's on the transition tag. My guess is they'll get him on the roster by the start of next year. Sign or trade for a stable running back, too. Now, I wouldn't mind them if they got Ezekiel Elliott back. Instead, they went for Antonio Gibson. I don't hate the move. I would say it's a somewhat stable running back behind Ramondre Stevenson, and then release or trade Juju and or Devontae Parker. They got rid of Devontae Parker. He now signed a 1-year deal with the Philadelphia Eagles today. They still have Juju on the roster, but I think they may end up getting off him if they decide to draft other Xavier Worthy or a couple other wide receivers in the draft coming up, maybe in the 2nd round. I'm not entirely sure. But getting rid of Juju is not a priority. Getting rid of the guy who was ranked dead last in separation for 4 straight years, yeah, that would be a smart move. So good job to Elliott Wolf and Gerard Mayo or whoever else was a factor in those decision makings. But on the Patriots side of everything, I really like the way this offseason is going. The question is, what moves are you going to continually make, because Calvin Ridley right now is deciding between the Jaguars and the Patriots, and I'm waiting for some breaking news on that. There's a couple breaking news things as we go along here. Nothing too major, but still some big signings. But yeah, they haven't signed any big wide receiver yet. Calvin Ridley's out there. T. Higgins requested a trade, so the Patriots, I'm sure, are going to be involved in that. But right now, they're making really, really good moves. It's just a matter of now hitting on draft picks and keep going with spending, because they still have, I think, $71 million in cap space. So they have a lot that they could work with. So the job's not done yet. You're getting rid of some maybe toxic pieces, but you're also bringing in a healthy future for Gerard Mayo's beginning to his era of being the coach of the Patriots.
Well, I agree with all that you've said. I do think you don't go much of anywhere without a really good quarterback. So I guess they'll be drafting one now. Now that Mac Jones has been traded, they brought in Jacoby Brissett. I don't see them. Think he's the answer for them to, have a winning season.
I don't expect him to be the starter, though.
Huh?
I don't expect him to play a single game.
Yeah.
Not
you don't think
one.
he'll play a single game, huh?
If you're drafting a quarterback at 3, you're playing him.
Yeah. So who will it be? I mean, it doesn't look like they'll be able to get Jaden Daniels. So the Commanders want him.
So obviously the last 4 of that. If Caleb Williams goes 1, which the Bears are still deciding whether or not they should draft a quarterback at number 1, it would probably be Caleb Williams, and then what I'm seeing is Jaden Daniels in number 2. Then they have Drake May, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, or J.J. McCarthy. Because of J.J. McCarthy's combine and because of what he's doing in his meeting with teams, he's apparently rising in the draft boards because of his intellectual assessment when they were on the whiteboard, plays, breaking down stuff. That's why he's rising up on the draft board. But Drake May wouldn't fit in this offense, because they don't separate. If they go out and get a separating wide receiver, then we could see Drake May's deep ball. Otherwise, I want a meticulous thrower. J.J. McCarthy may fit that spot. He very well might. But then I could also look at Bo Nix, who I think is closest to being an NFL-ready quarterback because he spent the most time in college. We've seen a couple of these 4-year college guys. Brock Purdy was the latest one and performed very, very well. Mm-hmm. I think Bo Nix could come into a system with Gerard Mayo and, put up a 6-11, 7-10 season. Truthfully. If they go out and get Calvin Ridley or T. Higgins, mm-hmm. and they go out and get a proper quarterback, and they finish off the last or the only other check mark, which is the difference maker, I would say a 6-11, 7-10 for season 1 on a kind of rebuilt offense.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I'd
Completely
be surprised
fine
if they do that well.
Well, you're
We'll
expecting
see.
like 3-14 because Belichick's
Maybe
not there.
5 wins, something like that. I think they're going to be last in the division.
Well, I think that's a given because the division's just good.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
The other thing I'd say about Mac Jones going to the Jaguars, he is heading home. That's one thing. He and Trevor Lawrence were in the same draft class, right?
Yep.
And Trevor Lawrence went 1, Mac Jones went 15. Doug Peterson tends to get the best out of quarterbacks. Do you think there may be a little message being sent to Trevor Lawrence?
I would say that, well, Trevor Lawrence, late in the year, they completely fell apart. He was never healthy. They had to put C.J. Beathard in. I would say if you're worried about Trevor Lawrence's injury concerns moving forward, can Mac win you 3 games? I think so.
Maybe.
I think so. And I think with Doug Peterson's coaching, Mac Jones supposedly didn't take to the hard Belichick coaching. So that was one of the major problems and why that fell through. I think Doug Peterson can do a Nick Folesian type move where he doesn't make maybe a bad call, because after Nick Foles left the Eagles, he was horrible. Actually, like, terrible.
He never played well anywhere but at the Eagles.
Right. So I think Doug Peterson, I don't know if he could completely fix Mac, but can he make him go from a scared guy making legitimately boneheaded decisions, throwing it 2 feet into a linebacker's arms, nearly getting pick 6? Can he fix that? I think so. Getting out of New England, getting out of, no matter where you play, home or away, you're hearing Zappe on every single pass, whether it's a 50-yard deep bomb or if it's a 2-yard out route or going the other way. I think it's a mental clearance for Mac. I think he can get, a little bit more confidence back. And hey, motivation, you got picked 1, I got picked 15. I might be on a new team, but I'm not necessarily done yet.
Yeah.
New scenery, new motivation.
Something to prove.
Mac will be back. I don't know when. I'm pulling a Baker Mayfield card. I don't know when. But you know what? I'm doing a reverse. Mac Jones will be a starter again in the NFL. I'm reversing my Baker take, except I'm putting in a Mac Jones now. He will be a starter in the NFL. I don't know when it'll be. It may be 5 years from now. It might be a Geno Smith type play. Mac will be a starter again because we saw something. It wasn't a Zach Wilson or a Justin Fields where there's just nothing really there that translates well to the NFL. Like, Zach Wilson had a great arm. Justin Fields has great athletic ability, but they still end up losing. Mac won 10 games. Mac won the same amount of games in his first season than Justin Fields has in all 3. Like, Zach was just a bad quarterback. We saw something.
So far, he hasn't landed anywhere.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, if you want to check out the full episode, make sure you click the I in the top right-hand corner right now. If you want to listen to this show anywhere you go, make sure you go to anchor.fm/The Harvey Hour or anywhere you get your podcasts.